I've never been on that one.
You've never been on the ship?
No.
I stayed on there a few times.
I remember this shot because this was so exciting in the beginning.
Yeah, and that was when Ken Block was driving it too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we were in lockdown. I was sitting back in Australia and I was emailing Extreme E saying, how do I get involved? And everything about it, from the cars, the locations, to the sustainability and electric racing, to the gender split. It just all looked amazing. And I remember when we got to Saudi, there were so many people that just didn't think it was going to be possible to pull off.
Oh, the first couple of races, this was amazing. This was one of my favorite races, racing literally on the beach.
On the beach, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Extreme E car was the first electric race car I ever drove, and it's so much fun. Like to have that first experience. Nobody knew what type of driver is going to be. How will that work? How is the driver switches? So many unknowns, but that's what we love about Extreme E.
It was the first time I started, was in Senegal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sitting on the start line. It was so humid.
Yeah.
It was so sweaty inside, and then everything kind of worked out well.
This was, I think, Jamie driving. This is the final.
And then I remember having Sarazan right behind me.
Stressing you.
Stressing me, like I can't let him pass me. I managed to hang on. That was,
We didn't get further than that corner, but it was Veloce's first podium.
Greenland, I thought Greenland was your favourite.
The location itself, that was my favourite Extreme E race ever, but like the racing track location, I thought it was so cool to race on the beach, but this, to be just next to the glacier, being in Greenland was incredible. I went to a legacy program after.
Yeah.
And this
there's a massive
garden.
puncture coming, isn't there?
Oh yeah. No, this is
not
this one.
I remember the slow-mos of that and the tyre just exploded.
It was Sarazan again, I think.
It was impressive.
Mad.
I remember watching it thinking if he can pull this off, what a hero.
This was 7K, it was so difficult to do the track prep on this race.
Even to remember, because there were so many different lines and you never had enough opportunity to even drive the different lines. I remember when we arrived at the very first test and all the teams came up and Veloce was in the garage next to us. And I remember thinking, damn, their uniform's really cool.
When you look at it, you can see how far this championship has come now in a couple of years later.
I think it was really cool to have someone like Jamie involved in Extreme E as well, because it's totally not her wheelhouse off-road, and for someone like that to come and bring her level of credibility to the series and also boss it in a completely different world was pretty cool.
And this race was so muddy.
So muddy.
Unbelievable. Then the track was actually really fun. This mad jump was always massive. Tricky, and then you hypered on this. I always hypered on this straight.
But you were just half aquaplaning, half sliding and hitting all those little bumps. It was...
Do you remember we did 2 laps for the first driver and 1 for the other?
Yes, yeah.
It's really odd.
It's funny how the format has changed since the beginning. It was 7, 8, 9 kilometre time trial, and it was just hard to remember where the track went, and just 1 lap, and starting with the time trial, then the head-to-head races only coming at the end, and to see how it's much more like it was in Dorset. I think this was the first time. When
you race on your own, it's much more like rally or Dakar style, whereas now we're much more towards head-to-head off-road racing and rallycross style with the sport. Like the Extreme E, it's always been the same car, but it's like it's changed its sporting identity through its time, which has been really fun to evolve with.
Yeah, rather than trying to pick the right line, now it's just maximising every corner and racecraft and all these things. The legacy programs are cool because I think it's so much about the purpose, about why we're racing, and makes you change your perspective of why you're here, but also it's just cool to see all these amazing locations and the work that's being done.
You actually get to experience
you
like
wouldn't otherwise.
The locations that you go to. You never do that otherwise.
It's not just hotel racetrack where with ostriches.
Yeah, they're
like, who are these people?
This was so fun, this one, because we really got to interact with all the small ones that ran out first, and then the ostriches. You look like you're in your natural habitat. Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, there you go.
The tree wizard. But it's so fun because we actually get to do some work too. Like in here we're planting trees. We were planting mangroves back in Senegal a few years ago. We actually get to get involved and do a difference.
Didn't we make a pact that for our 70th birthday we were going to go see how our tree's going?
Oh yeah.
Because they reckon in that amount of time they will have grown.
Will I go back to Neom?
This was your favourite one, Kev.
Yeah,
the
I'm
bees.
not a big bee fan. I think they're a bit scary. Well, this
It's
bloke
quite
is not
incredible
scary.
though.
It's
mesmerising.
But it was so cool to see, and also with the smoke, how it comes and down. And I mean, it's fascinating to see. It's super yummy, their product. Well done, bees.
You know, all the work that they're doing with the wildfires and the issues they have in that region. I mean, it's much like Australia, and I think this whole area was lost recently in the wildfires, so it just highlights how important this work and regenerating what they're doing is.
Because he wasn't there when we came back
Yeah.
for the next race. They're all been gone in wildfires.
Do you remember the time I pranked you? Said you had a bee under your suit?
And I really believed you. Freaked out. What, you didn't know? Because there was bees everywhere. I was like, is it inside?
Not sorry about that one.
Not sorry.
Not sorry.
Going back to Sardinia, it's really nice to follow up because there's also, we went to see the bees, we went to see the wildfires, we've been into the ocean. There's so many different things that you need to raise awareness of in these places that get so hot.
Yeah.
And that's the fascinating part, that we can be able to come back, see how also the nature change from time to time.
I mean, that's what it's all about. It's not just about coming and doing one race and then leaving. It's about how we can make a lasting impact. So to be able to see that at its very beginning is pretty special. Scotland.
Our home race.
It's nice having a home race.
It is actually very nice because it's like, it also shows that climate crises are at your doorstep.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the other side of the world, like in Australia or whatever. You know, it's so great to also to interact with the community here, with the kids. Who had a day with them where we planted and building this base around to grow trees that we can later plant.
Without that education, how do we know how we can help? So I think that's been one of the really cool things. Yeah, and it makes you realise that everyone can do something.
Oh, that's my tree.
Look at that.
That's my tree. Planted that a year ago. And this was fun.
Oh, this was one of my favourite trips, seeing the giraffes.
Interesting to hear about what kind of activations they have about, you know, taking care of the animals and making a big impact. Also, they have so much solar panels there. I think even working with E.ON on that place to install them and create a greener future for all the animals.
Look at the koala.
Oh, you feel at home?
It's like it's a bit cold here. Start of 2023. That was our first season with us together in the new team format. First season with E.ON. Yeah.
The Desert X-Prix, like beautiful location. We worked all during the winter to come up with our strategies.
You know, you make these plans and you put in the work, knowing what is possible, but then there comes a moment where it's the start of the season and you have to deliver it. So for it to just come out and win the first race of the season, second in the next one, we're here. This is our year.
It was such a tricky turn one too, like
that
angle.
It was.
And so, really wanted to go off the line there. We feel so comfortable in this car that we got going on. I feel like I can.
You're about to do the move.
I can do a move.
When you hop in after, you know, if you've got a good lead or something and then you're the second driver.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice because in some ways, you know, you don't have to try and take an extra risk, or that's where I went to 40.
It was all madness here. I like this little move. It brings back a lot of memories from the beginning of our journey. So here we did finish second on the track, but that's because they oversped in that slow zone. So here we're like, did we win? Did we not win?
Because I remember I was doing 40 k's an hour, and then it was really annoying because we were making so much time on those laps, and then all the zones just kind of changed everything. But then for us to
get that W.
to get the win, the first win for Veloce, and the first race of the whole season, that was a pretty special moment. The first Sardinia event wasn't really our weekend.
We had the speed, it was great, but like we just got caught behind, we got into messy stuff. You see the car is a bit wrecked. If
you make a mistake or you have a mechanical problem, you know, you're out, and that happens to you a couple of times, then that's your whole race.
And when it's that hot, it also brings everyone, you know, closer to the limit. Huh?
Yeah, everyone's a bit fiery.
This was obviously a really challenging time for us. The next one, like we actually got to analyze, learn, and then we came back and we got a podium. We did much better. That was like important for the long term of the team to be like, okay, we were leading in the beginning of the year. We had a massive time in Sardinia. We got to go back to Sardinia, sort ourselves out, and learn and get stronger from there. Yeah, sometimes you learn more from the bad weekends. Oh. Is that the crash here? And this is where they had all the different lanes, so your starting position as well, a lot of it was down to the position you draw on the lottery, and if you're on the outside, there's no way. No. There's no way you can make the start, so I think they changed this after because they realised it wasn't the fairest scenario. But I liked getting this start on this track because then it was such a nice crisp road with the watering, it like dried out with the dust X. The first one through the water splash makes a big difference. It was really fun, and you could push like crazy. Veloce is such a great thing because everybody feel comfortable enough to do that. Like you're willing to open up and say, you know, maybe I didn't do everything perfectly, or maybe you could have done that better. And you can really have an honest conversation, because if you can't do that, you can never move forward. And that's why we're so strong. Like we can really take a good look at ourselves when it's not going well, and be honest and then move forward, and to have that support from everyone is just so key.
Yeah, you know, everyone's got everyone's backs. We're all coming from the same place, and yeah, it's easy to be a good team when things are going well and you're winning and saying everyone's great. It's when things go sideways and you see how people react and respond and how they pick themselves up, and I think that's when you really see the true measure of a team, and I think that was really clear for us to go through that and then to come out the other side firing. Just shows what everyone in the team is all about. It's pretty crazy to think that in just the short time Extreme E's been running, when you look at the rate of the female development having been given this opportunity, it started at about a 6.5% time difference, and just in a couple of seasons it's down to 3.2, so it's more than halved already, and we're still at the beginning, and I think we're seeing the rate of that progression go even faster, and now it's most of the time super close. So I think that's been incredible, you know, from my side, the opportunity it's given me in my career and my career development, having the access to seat time and to learn. You know, at the end of the day, it's great to be given those opportunities, but you have to go out there and show that it wasn't in vain. And so I think what the whole field and the whole category is doing is really cool.
Shows what just female can do when you're given the opportunity. Same as men, you can go out there and you can get the seat time, you can get really quick. Like nowadays, I think it's even the latest, I'm sure the numbers are even less than 3% now, because it's getting so close between everyone.
Quite mixed quite often in the
so
time
I mean, it's Extreme has done such a big thing for also future girls that want to race. Like there's a platform now.
So your lap was all right. Started off okay.
Started off okay, not too bad. I remember not being the cleanest. I didn't get a great launch. It's this part of the season we struggle with our launches, so you see a bit back in the field, but I'll sort something out. I think I got out third here, yeah.
And then I think when you came in, we were up to second when we came into the switch zone.
Yeah.
But the windscreen was half covered and you had one wiper working.
Yeah,
it wasn't great.
I had a beautiful idea in the switch on. I was thinking, okay, let's get rid of that broken one. It's just that I took the wrong one.
You took the one that was working.
So I left you with no wipers.
Oh, I remember we'd finished the seatbelt change, and I had about 20 seconds left out of the 45 seconds in the switch zone, and I was just sitting there looking at the fact I had no wipers. I knew at some point I was going to have no way of seeing where I was going, and I just didn't know when it was going to happen, and I was just like this dread sitting there going, it's not going to end well.
Here we go.
Once I go through the water.
I came up with a good idea with Pierre-Lee to say, like, open your door and try and look where you're going.
Yeah. Well, at one point I stopped on the track and opened the door to get a reference, because I was just trying to remember. I went through the water and then I thought, okay, the track goes right up here. So I decided I may as well just keep driving until I physically ran into something that stopped me. I thought, here's the track, and then it started to get a bit rough, and then I kind of hit a small tree.
There we go, yeah.
I thought, no, I'm not on the track.
I was like, no.
I think everyone thought at that point we would just stop, and I thought, well, if the wheels are rolling, we'll keep going.
This was the maddest Extreme E race I think ever.
We needed that podium, and it was just that determination that we were going to get it.
After these 2 weekends in Sardinia, we were third. We had a shot at the championship. You
know, considering, I guess, the results of the previous years of the team and how much growth, to be able to turn it around and now be, you know, the team to beat out there was pretty rewarding and a showcase of everyone's hard work. New season, new livery.
New, beautiful colours. I mean, also a new team name, E.ON Next Veloce Racing for this year. It's very exciting. Yeah, it's been great to see the partnership grow and now the car back to the red livery. Obviously coming from 2 podiums in the first weekend. We were really, really good speed the first weekend, but we didn't quite get the result and came into this one. And it was a bit of a messy start to this day, wasn't it? Yeah, but it worked. I mean, and I think that was the first round. We had really good speed, as you said, but we didn't really nail the start. So that was our real focus from Scotland. And as you can, as you can see there, we got that working well, and so to combine that with the speed really set us up. Yeah, it's just the best feeling when you start and you nail it and you come out in the lead, or if you're in the command centre watching you start and you nail it and come out in the lead, you're just like, yeah, it's great. Such a good feeling. It was a really fun track this year. So quick, so wide, so much overtaking opportunities. I think I overtook in every race. I love that part about racing, when you can really make a difference. We did have a bit challenging second day where we took some flags and you know, we were on the back foot, but we never stopped. We had the speed, we had the confidence. we had a great team
Yeah.
behind us in the command center.
The track was so wide and so muddy, and where it was grassy, you had to look for the flags, and so where it was muddy and you couldn't see the flags, it was kind of sometimes hard, and you had to commit so early to carry the speed because the track was so wide. So sometimes you were just hoping you had it right.
Yeah, you had a great start to that day. I took over in a nice, 3-second lead.
Yeah.
And just cruised it home.
It
I had good
yeah.
parking.
We'd done such a good start and came in such a good position. I was like, if I park this outside and get a penalty, I think I'll never forgive myself.
And then you struggled to press
You had
neutral.
enough lead anyway, so I gave you enough
Yeah,
gap
that was
to...
perfect. Such a good feeling, come out in the first and then push like crazy the first couple
yeah.
of corners. Like he was
Yeah.
a little bit close. I think I hypered
Yeah.
straight away and to just not give him a chance, and then just focus on my lines. I know we had the speed, we had a great car.
Yeah.
We had also track position because we have a clean windscreen. Oh, I like watching these races back. It like gives a
It's
good
cool.
feel, and also it's like I want to do it again now.
I know, I do. When I watch it, I miss it a lot. Doesn't matter.
Here we go up on the roof.
Still.
Home
Oh,
win.
yeah.
Way.
Oh, look at that.
Love that.
We got better fitting suits as well now.
Just that moment I realized how when you saw all the teams celebrating so much,
Yeah.
like that's why we do this, like to get everyone so happy.
Yeah.
It brings so much joy when you
Yeah.
have good success.
Yeah, it's such a team sport. It's
Yeah.
the drivers that get most of the limelight, but it's such an important team sport that makes it all feel better when you do win.
Kids in motorsport, these are great events. So nice to see them all getting involved with different, and we've gone to them, like when I went to my first one, to see all the different things that they do, and there's so many different aspects to motorsport that everyone can be part of.
Yeah, and I think it's something that people just aren't always exposed to, so to be able to get all these kids hands-on, depending if they're interested in science or maths or the physical side or the media side, there's places for everyone, and I think, for us also to be able to showcase as a male and a female driver that it's there's a place for everyone, and you just see these kids embrace the day with no preset limitations in their head, and it's just always so rewarding.
Like when you go have passenger days like this, it's just...
These are like some of the best days for me when we can bring people involved in our team and the E.ON crew, get them in the car, because it's so hard to explain what it's like. And so to be able to give people that experience, is so special.
Women in Sports, one of the first of its kind, I think, in motorsport, which was just a great day of showing so many different powerful women in different parts of sports.
Yeah, and not just motorsport as well. I think it was cool to see from different industries and from management level down to the athletes, how it's evolving, what opportunities they are, and the benefits from a commercial point of view.
It's great that, like you said, bringing so many different industries together, and that E.ON really can put on an event like this to showcase, the power of women.
I think that's the thing I love most about everything we do with E.ON. It's not just a sticker on the car. It's, we race in Extreme E for a purpose, and then we put action behind that with the legacy events, but then also when we're off track, it really is holistically.
Yeah.
How can we create a more sustainable, equitable and exciting future? So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And this was fun.
Was it?
I didn't
Did
get...
you have heaps of fun here?
No, I was just going to say, I wasn't able to go, and it looked really fun on all the videos I've seen from it.
Yeah, this facility was mega. Those big containers behind us there, they go from like -40 to +60 or something like that, so they can test everything in the most extreme conditions. They put it on -34 when I went in.
It's dangerous when it's that cold because you can't feel the cold. Then it's when you get the frostbite.
Yeah.
So that's actually more dangerous than
Yeah, my hair was all completely covered in ice.
So great to be able to do all these different things with E.ON and connect with all the different parts of their business, E.ON Drive, E.ON Next, and really learn so much from being on racetrack, pushing technology, and to see what they do off track, pushing technology in every aspect for millions of people.
It's been an incredible ride so far to be part of E.ON Next Veloce Racing and just see how we've grown as a team, the success we've had, all the people that are involved, and the impact that we're making. To me, it's much more than just racing. It's definitely feels like my family and kind of a purpose in life.
Yeah, it's incredible to see what where the team was when we joined in 2022 and what we have grown to be now in season 4, with the success we've had. The only team to have 5 straight podiums. I think we're one of the teams that have the most wins. Like, we've really upped our game, and it's really because we feel like this team is great. It can achieve greatness together, and we trust each other by racing in the championship, bringing awareness to so many people about climate crisis, and have so much fun along the way.
And there's more to come too, right?
More to come.